Well, a new mass vaccination hub opens in Melbourne's southeastern suburbs today as efforts to accelerate the rollout to those aged over 50 and over gather pace.
But serious questions remain about the strategy and what about that India travel ban. Norman Swan is the presenter of RN's Health Report and the ABC's Coronacast. He joins us now from Sydney. Norman, good morning. Everybody else has profited for you, so you might as well. What do you make of the India travel ban?
I think that the punitive element to it is appalling, and it just is unnecessary. There are logistical issues here, but we've touted the great success of hotel quarantine. But in fact, when it's stressed, it doesn't actually perform very well. If you actually look at the tens of thousands of people who've come back relative to the leaks, that's a very low figure, but relative to the number of infections, it's not that low. So, there's contradiction going on. The Commonwealth saying, well, we don't need alternate facilities, yet they're not confident in the facilities that they've got. We could actually be bringing back people still, but the rate of infection in India is enormous. It's I just got figures from Tony Blakely at the University of Melbourne. It's an extraordinary, per day, 1,000 people per 100,000 of the population. In other words, at the moment, it's almost 1% of the population is being infected every day. That's 10 times the peak in the United Kingdom, for example. So it just beggars the imagination. Now, that's not evenly spread. It is more in the disadvantaged population. But it does mean that a large percentage of people coming back, first of all, it means that people are trapped there in a serious situation where their lives could be at stake. And we do have an obligation to bring them back and to accelerate some sort of solution, because India won't be the last country to face this. It's just an appalling situation. And we've spent months talking about actually immunising people overseas. We haven't done that. And now it's getting too late for Australians and permanent residents in India.
And just on that, Norman, we've heard a lot about the India strain, this new so-called double mutant strain. Is that any more cause for concern than the other strains that we've seen? Probably
not from the current evidence. It's still unclear, although it almost certainly is more contagious and it's spread to other countries. But it doesn't seem to be, I don't think they're worried so much that it's vaccine resistant. So I don't think I don't think they've yet to nominate this as a variant of concern, still a variant of interest. I mean, but there are thousands of variants in India, and others could emerge, because as people get immunized, as the virus circulates and multiplies to this extraordinary extent, new mutants are being thrown off all the time.
Okay, let's go to the vaccination rollout. Different situations in different states. Can I just say, I've booked to get my AstraZeneca jab. I'm over 50. It's my turn, so I'm going to go on Thursday. I found absolutely no trouble using the hotline here in Victoria and to book an appointment on Thursday. But it's a different situation, isn't it, Norman, depending on where you live?
I think it is different. Will Ockenden, who's our producer, our wonderful producer on Coronacast, who's been based in Tasmania for the duration of the pandemic, he spent all of yesterday trying to find appointments for his parents. And I think so in Tasmania it's tough. I think people are still confused about where to go. In some countries, people phone you. I think they're expecting to get calls from their general practitioners, and they're not. Look, this will sort itself out. I noticed yesterday, I think it was at the exhibition centre, really touching interviews with people just so grateful to have this done. It brought a tear to your eye.
It was great to watch, and where you were showing our viewers some of the cues and some of the scenes there. People flocking, Norman, almost flocking to get their first injection.
Yep.
Which is great to see.
I'm looking forward to get mine. I just haven't managed to get through
come on, Norman. Get
the
on
online one yet.
Yours is going to be a nationally televised event.
I'm actually in Melbourne tomorrow. Maybe you could move yours forward to tomorrow. We'll have a double event.
Oh, you're right. My people will speak to your people. We'll organise something.
Okay.
I just wanted to talk to you finally about another vaccine, Norman, which is the Valneva vaccine. Now, there have been reports apparently the Australian government is negotiating to buy that. It's not very well known. Can you tell us about that?
So this is a French biotech company that's manufacturing in Scotland a vaccine which is called an inactivated viral vaccine. So it's the whole virus, but it's been inactivated so it doesn't infect you with COVID-19. I'm not quite sure why they're negotiating about this, because the Chinese vaccine is an inactivated vaccine, one of the Chinese vaccines. It's only getting 50% efficacy. The influenza vaccine is an inactivated respiratory vaccine. It only gets 50 or 60% efficacy. Polio is an inactivated one. It gets about 100%. But unless there's something magical about this one, they're not necessarily going to be it's not necessarily going to be a very good vaccine. And they're comparing it to Astra rather than Pfizer in their trials. So, you know, I'm really not sure why they just don't do the obvious, which is book 50 million doses of the variant vaccine of Moderna and get us sorted out for late 2021, early 2022.
Yeah, good question. Hey, Norm, thank you. You and me, Vaccination Central.
Yeah, absolutely. Be at the Exhibition Centre. See you there.